For some analysis on the fraud ruling against the Trump organization and what's next on the legal front for the former president, we're joined now by CBS News legal analyst Rikki Klieman. She is in Southampton, New York this morning. Good morning, Rikki. Former President Trump is expected to appeal this ruling in the civil fraud case. What do you expect next on that front, and how is he going to pay?
Well, let's look at if he has a good appeal, and I think that many legal experts would agree that he does, and for two reasons. Number one, this is a statute out of the state of New York that was designed against fraud, but consumer protection fraud. That is, people who did not have sophistication in the marketplace, people who could be taken advantage of by a scam. Here, the president's lawyers have persisted in saying that there was no victim here, that the banks were repaid. They were never late with a payment. The banks were happy to do business with them. The banks could do due diligence, and the banks went away happy, and the banks were satisfied. So they have challenged this law from the very beginning, and an appellate court might want to take a look at it because it is a way of putting an industry or a company out of business. Secondly, Donald Trump and his lawyers will look for a reduction in the amount of the penalty. The penalty is astronomical. When you look at how you go forward with an appeal, what you have to do is within 30 days, either post the amount of the penalty up with interest, so it's 120% of the penalty. And we're really talking about something like $450 million to post. If you can't do that in cash, you're going to have to find assets that will be collateral for a surety company. This is a mighty task for financial advisors at dealing with Donald Trump and the organization to get the money or the bond for that appeal. If the appeal can't be docketed because of the money's going to have to be paid.
This is one of several challenges facing former President Trump just in New York. Starting next month on March 25th, he has a hush money payments criminal trial beginning in Manhattan. What are your thoughts on how that's going to play out over a 6-week period in March, April, and May?
What we have to remember is that this is the first case against a former president. That makes it of historical significance and importance. You're going to have a judge who is strict with Judge Merchant. There is not going to be any fooling around. It is going to go forward with all deliberate speed. There are people who perhaps would have preferred, on a nationally significant level, that the January 6th case went first or the Mar-a-Lago documents case went first. But nevertheless, this is a criminal case. It is multiple counts of falsification of business records to commit or conceal a crime. And according to the DA, that crime had to do with tax purposes, had to do with federal election law and state election law. There is nothing here about this case to make it seem like it's de minimis, to make it seem like it shouldn't be done. It will be done, and if there's a conviction, these counts have a 4-year prison term maximum.
And you can serve, you can run for president and serve as president if you're convicted of a crime in our system, correct?
Not only can you run and serve, you will find, as you well know, that here in the life of Donald Trump, the political and the legal collide. That's certainly the fraud case Donald Trump will use in order to say that there are people who have exceeded their authority, like the Attorney General of New York. Then he looks at the New York case. He will be able to campaign that the district attorney has exceeded his authority by going forward with these kinds of cases. So it plays into the political reality at a very important time on the political calendar.
And Rikki, down in Fulton County, Georgia in recent days, Fani Willis took the stand. Do you expect her to be dismissed or disqualified from the Georgia election interference case?
Well, it was a salacious couple of days on television watching in a camera in the courtroom. to hear about the personal, intimate relationship of District Attorney Fani Willis and the special prosecutor that she hired, who was her lover for a period of time. The salaciousness of this and the fact that she decided to testify when she was angry leads us to a point that it has probably hurt her credibility. The case will not be dismissed. I doubt that she will be disqualified. But ultimately, although she wins the motion, I would say that it could be said politically that the case then legally really becomes a loser.
We'll leave it there. Rikki Klieman, thank you so much.